All right. Time out with Michael and Tony.
Hey.
How is everybody? We'll wait till everybody gets on here. Excited to do this.
It's a good time. It's gonna be a very serious talk. A lot of debates.
So thanks everybody for joining out Time Out with Michael, and we appreciate all of your listens. We are way up there in the listens. I think we're at 1,300
million. Million.
Boom. 13 million. Andrew, everybody, this is Andrew. Andrew's going to be on our show today.
Hello,
Say hi
hello.
to Andrew. Andrew is the pharmacist, owner, entrepreneur, famous guy at City Drug Pharmacy here in Evanston, Wyoming. And he is going to be the expert
on the man flu.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, send in all your man flu related questions.
So we appreciate you guys joining. We appreciate you listening, whether you're listening morning, noon, or night. It just is great. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, Podbean. What other ones? Apple Watch, Facebook,
MySpace,
Zenga. You know, the problem is though, we've only had one person listen on MySpace.
Really?
Me.
Oh, I think I was like, I want to talk to that person.
Like,
you can
still
every
real?
day. Every day.
Man, that's amazing.
Every day. So today we are discussing the man flu, and this is great because all of you guys out there know exactly what we're talking about when you got the man flu.
Yep.
What is the man flu?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Let's ask our professional here.
Andrew, what is the man flu?
Well, the man flu is also known as the common cold, except for it's a lot worse. Something about our genetics, the way we're built, it's way worse for men than it is for women.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you would say that the man flu is a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a real thing?
Yeah. I give it 10 years before we're vaccinating for the man flu.
Wow. Do you hear that, ladies?
The man flu, the man cold, it devastates men around the world.
It does.
It's pretty bad.
It's done. Yeah. It'll wipe you out, man.
When's the last time you had the man flu?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, last year I think. I pretty much. I mean, since moving from the West Coast out here, I pretty much get like every season's man cold. You know, like I get hit. It's like summer's coming around the corner, and I'm like, oh no, I can feel it setting in. You know, winter comes, fall comes.
You're okay.
But I mean, I tough through it. You know,
you have a beard. You have to.
I have to for the sake of reputation and bragging rights. I gotta.
Andrew, when's the last time you got the man cold, flu?
I got it a few weeks ago. I don't have much of a choice. I gotta just, like Tony, I gotta tough through it. I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
I guess my question for Tony is, does your wife see it coming with the season changing?
She does. Yeah, my wife sees it coming. And she preps. And by preps, I mean she gets all of her sarcastic comments and all of those ready. They're waiting on a shelf. And yeah.
Kayla, does he have are you on the live stream? If you are, do you see this? Yeah. It's been a minute since I had the man flu. It's been a minute.
How many minutes?
Well, it was kind of a funny thing because it turned into something real. I was sick for a minute and my wife told me to toughen up. I was being a big baby about it. And it turns out a week later, I had pneumonia.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
And she teased me and told me I was a big baby and I had pneumonia. And I had to work through it. I did. I didn't call in sick.
Yeah.
I was there.
You could have died from that man cold.
I know.
You could have.
I know.
That man cold could have taken you down.
Wives don't take it seriously.
They sure don't.
Yeah, not at all.
But I feel like maybe I'm being stereotypical, sexist. I don't know what it. I feel like that men don't get sick a lot. and when we do, we just try to tough it out because we kind of have to.
Yeah.
But then when it really does hit us, it's hard.
Yeah.
When it's bad, and you are down for the count.
Yeah.
And they just look at you like, oh,
Yeah.
poor baby.
Yeah. My office is a little different than a lot of people's because we have a handful of people that are like, what do you call that? Their immune system is easily compromised. And so they basically say at my job, they're like, yo, if you're sick at all, stay home because you could put somebody in the hospital. I worked with a buddy of mine one time where somebody came in sneezing with a cold, and he was one of those, what is it called?
Immunocompromised.
Yeah. But anyways, but that was his thing. And he came in and somebody was like open air coughing and sneezing, like no even real attempt to cover. It was just like, and 2 days later, he started feeling sick. And then he was in the hospital for a week, and he's like, and he became super, super strict. Like anytime I ever heard anybody cough or anything, he would hand out medical masks to people in our office, which I wound up keeping medical masks up above my desk to hand out to people. Cause I was like, I don't want to be sick.
Oh
yeah. Why this state is trying to kill me. I'm just putting that out there. I get sick with everything. So
there she is. Okay. She knows.
She knows. She knows.
Gary, is the man flu real or is it fake? You tell us.
Yeah. All you ladies listening, in fact.
Yeah.
Man cold reeled? I put a D on that. Reeled? Is it reeled or faked?
Reeled or faked? I just think it's, you do get the man flu and it's like, oh, what do you do? I don't ever want to do anything when I have the man flu.
Yeah.
I asked my wife on the way over here if I get the man flu. And she said, well, kind of. She thinks she may get it worse and that she likes to be coddled when she's sick. But me, I just want to be barricaded in a room by myself. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Let me suffer out my misery.
Yeah.
And I'll get over the plague.
Yeah.
But my wife, on the other hand, she wants to be coddled and cuddled. So she said she may actually get the man flu worse than I do.
Yeah.
Other than I'm just real ornery all the time when I get sick.
Yeah.
Johnny, what's up? Do you have the man flu? Have you ever gotten the man flu? Does Tara baby you, or does she make fun of you when you have the man flu? Please tell us. And thanks for joining. Yeah, I know. I think it's funny. I think the man flu is real. Not really real.
Yeah, I think it's real too. I mean, because when I get sick, it's not like I'm faking. Like I just got like when I have like when I get like a cold like that, when I get a cold like that, it just zaps me. I've got nothing. Like I've got no energy. I don't want to be up walking around. I don't want to hear sounds. I just want to be left alone so I can just be sick and die. I'm like, put some dirt on me, man.
Kirsten, what do you mean by you're the only one to choose the other way around? Are you saying that you're you get the man flu, not Adrian?
Or maybe that I said that my wife was she said she got the man flu.
Oh,
Oh, maybe that's what she's referring to.
Okay. Fair enough. Are women's response to man's cold a conspiracy against men in general in order to further the feminist agenda?
That's a great question.
Because I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I do. They all get together and like, oh yeah, Tony had the man flu again.
Yo, that's a thing. They do. They get around. Like, I mean, I cannot tell you how many times like I'll walk through a place and I will cough. And somebody's like, are you getting sick? And then Kayla will rattle off like a handful of like man flu stories, And I'm just like, what the heck, man?
They never forget the stories either.
No, they don't.
They never forget.
They don't.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Have you ever had, okay, so this is kind of, you're a pharmacist, you run a pharmacy. Have you ever had a wife or somebody come in and say, my husband thinks he's sick, can you tell him he's not? Has you ever got that?
Yeah. More so they just want to know, they want me to tell them that there's nothing they can do, that they just need to get over it.
Yeah.
Or they want me to give them something so their husband will quit complaining and whining about things.
Sure.
But I did have kind of a funny experience with maybe men and women and the differences yesterday when it comes to vaccines and getting a shot.
Mm.
flu shot. So obviously it's flu shot season. We do a lot of flu shots.
Yeah.
Men in general tend to be more of whiners when it comes to immunizations and vaccines, which is kind of comical to me.
Sure.
So I had one yesterday, real petite. Wife comes in, doesn't say a word, doesn't complain, whereas her husband was about in tears as I was getting the flu shot ready. And these are guys a lot of times that are big guys, big guys, tattoos all up and down their arms, but yet I pull out that flu shot and they're terrified.
Yeah.
And they start crying. So the man cold's real. And these guys kind of are whiners sometimes.
It's a phobia.
It is. It's a phobia, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a thing. Okay.
On that subject, Tony, do you get a flu shot? Does your family get flu shots?
Sometimes. I have, and I'll bounce this off you because I've had medical professionals tell me that I need to be careful getting a flu shot because I have an issue with egg yolk, like straight up egg yolk. And so if it's baked into something or cooked into something, I'm usually okay. But I've had like medical professionals say to me, you need to be careful getting a flu shot because you could actually get really sick or get a reaction from that. And so have you ever had that conversation with individuals? Is that a thing? Should I pop a Benadryl before getting one?
I would say depending on that allergy. I mean, if it's like you get an upset stomach, you throw up, I'd still get the flu shot. If it's severe, your throat swells up or closes, I'd probably avoid the flu shot.
Oh, okay.
They are coming out with some newer ones that can be used with people with a severe egg allergy.
Okay.
So
sweet.
Do your family all get the flu shots?
They do.
Okay.
I'm kind of maybe a little bit different. I believe in the flu shot. I think people should get it. People our age, for the most part, I mean, if you got the flu, Michael, you'd be able to live through it, fight through it. What I always tell my employees and people is, yeah, you can, but if you carried it to your grandma who's 85 years old, she may not be able to fight that flu.
Yeah.
So people our age would probably be fine. It's usually the young children and the elderly who have issues with the flu.
Mm-hmm.
However, you could be a carrier. You may be able to fight it just fine. However, your grandma or your neighbor's baby may not be able to fight that same flu.
Yeah.
I don't do the flu shot.
Why?
I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's a conspiracy.
So is it because I like this subject? Is this a conspiracy in that you feel like it's just a way to make money for the pharmaceutical company, or are you one of those that says the government is doing it so they can inject us with disease and control us slowly over time? Because that's out there too.
That is out there. I think it's out there. I think you're very right. There's people that need the flu shot. It can kill people. It's deadly if you get the flu. So for me, every time I've received the flu shot, I feel like I am sicker throughout the year. So the last time I got a flu shot was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And I had it that year and the previous year, and I was sick both years several times, more than I ever had been. And I said, you know what? I think this year I'm just not going to get the flu shot. And I didn't. And I haven't been, I think I could count how many times I've been sick in the last 10 years on 2 fingers. I mean, I don't get sick that often, maybe a couple times, but I just, that's my thought on it. I haven't been sick and I haven't got the flu or anything like that. So I just think, okay, my body's good enough to fight it. But, on that point, it would be scary if I, got it and maybe I'm carrying it. It's just not affecting me as bad. And I go to somebody that is susceptible to the flu and I give it to them. I don't know. I think maybe that could be a cause of concern.
Yeah. I think another common misconception maybe with the flu shot is that, I got the flu shot, then I started getting sick. Well, the other truth of that matter is we get the flu shot in September, October, November, which is around the time everyone's getting the cold anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got the flu shot. Yeah, I got sick, but is that a coincidence? Because it's the time everyone's getting sick and going back to school anyway.
Yeah. And I think that's why most people say, oh, I don't want to get the flu shot because every time I get it, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Now, speaking with the flu shot, is the flu shot a actual strain of the flu being injected to you? Is this a conspiracy or is it true? Yes, no. I've heard both sides.
Yeah. So it's kind of a guess, honestly. They based it off of what's happening in Asia. And so they pick typically 3 or 4 strains of the flu to put into this year's vaccine. And so it's really a best guess. So some years are more effective than others, depending on what actually hits us. But the truth is there could be hundreds, maybe thousands of different variations of that virus. And we're just trying to do the best we can to protect against the most common ones.
Why do they base it upon Asia?
I don't know exactly the reason for that. I'd have to look it up, but typically the stuff hits them first, I guess. And then we tend to see it after. I don't know.
As being a sort of Asian person,
You are not sort of Asian. You are Islander. That is totally different demographic. Stop.
Hey, understand? I have roots to early Taiwanese people, so just putting that out there. Early Micronesians were commuting Taiwanese. Woo whoop to all my Micronesian friends.
And I'm Canadian. I got some ties.
Our stream looks a little choppy.
Is it a little choppy? Yeah.
A little bit.
As long as we're not goofy and pixelated.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I'm going to put this up here because the man flu, we talked about it earlier, says the guy who had pneumonia. Yeah, it wasn't the man flu.
Yeah.
It was pneumonia. Almost
Yeah.
died.
Yeah. So
Conspiracy.
since moving to Wyoming from the West Coast, I don't know why. Every time I get a cold, if it's not gone within a week, it will just turn into bronchitis. Like 2 years ago, my cough got real bad, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, "You're like a day from pneumonia." He's like, "You need to just take some time off, rest, take some meds, and just chill." But that's the thing that really sucks about mine is like if it's not gone in a week, like I'm almost doomed to just automatically get heavy bronchitis into borderline pneumonia. It's horrible.
Go with our next question, Tony.
All right, next question. We kind of went into that already. I'm going to go on to the next question after that. Remedies. Andrew, what kind of remedies when you've got the man cold going? What kind of things do you typically do? What's your routine for just surviving?
Yeah. So like we said earlier, we can't really, we got to go to work. We got stuff we got to do. We very rarely get down. We really suffer on Sundays when we have a little time. We can complain about the man flu, but during the work week, my go-to, and I don't always recommend this for all my patients, but my go-to is an energy drink, 2 Sudafed, and 4 ibuprofen, and I can work through anything.
Holy cow. That's quite a cocktail.
Boom.
Yeah. That would rip anything out of you.
Write that down.
Yeah.
That is not medical advice.
It's just his opinion.
Yeah.
It's not a plug either.
But it's a professional opinion. I'm just kidding.
That energy drink is purchased from Western Wyoming Beverages.
Yes, it is.
Sponsor.
Yes, it is.
Plug. The man cold hits Tony like he's birthing a cow for 12 days. That's my wife. Love you. Yeah. What about you, Michael? Remedies. What's your routine, man? What gets you up?
Going and doing things.
Yeah.
I just got to get up and go and do. And like Andrew said, pop a couple Tylenol, ibuprofen. If that's what we need to do, just go through it. I pride myself on not calling in sick. I haven't called in sick to Western Wyoming Beverages, but twice. One time I had a really bad migraine and I couldn't see. The light was hurting. In fact, my wife had to call my boss because I was headed down to go to work. I had the pneumonia. I went to work. I wasn't stopping. I can't. You're gonna have to send me home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come there and you can make that assessment of, you know what, go away.
Yeah.
You're done. And then I used a sick day for a personal, I had to go somewhere with my family. So I used a sick day there. But other than that, I haven't called in sick in 8 years.
Yeah.
I feel like, and this is, I don't know how other businesses work, but I feel like when you call and say, I'm sick, I don't feel good, come to work and let, your manager or your boss make that assessment, whether or not you are sick, whether or not you are truly sick, or you can, because a lot of times when you are sick, you are sick. You don't feel good.
Yeah.
But then you get up and you start doing things and you start to feel better. And then before you know it, it's 2:00 and the day's almost over. And you didn't stay home. You didn't put everybody else behind because they have to pick up the slack from you. Get up, go to work, and just press through it. And if your bosses or your managers or your people around you think that you are not capable, I mean, if you're running the bathroom every 5 minutes because you have diarrhea, if you're going to the bathroom every 10 minutes because you're puking, yeah. If you look like green and pale, we're sending you home. But come to work. I mean, stop. Get paid to be sick. You know, I shouldn't say that, but I have a problem with that. I don't like people that call in sick because last night they went and had a few extra drinks, or
absolutely.
they stayed up all night binge watching Vampire Diaries or something. You know, I do that too, but I get up and go to work.
Yeah.
I do. Andrew, what about you? I mean, you're a business owner, so how do you feel about people calling in sick with the man flu?
No, I love that question. And I agree with kind of what you were saying completely. In that, I feel like, yeah, go to work and let your boss decide. Obviously, we're in kind of a fragile industry in that we have people, you mentioned people who are immunocompromised. You know, I'm in a pharmacy where people come in and we got to be careful not to get them sick. So there's a fine line, you know. However, as the pharmacist, I can't really call in sick or the store closes. Then those same people can't get their medication. And then we have problems beyond that. But as far as with my employees, I'd rather you show up to work and then let me decide, just so I know it's real. You know, I think the immediate assumption is just, oh, it's Friday, you want a 3-day weekend, you know?
Sure.
And so I think that I prefer to see it. And then if I'm in a good place, yeah, I'm going to send you home. Otherwise, I'll tell you to use some hand sanitizer, you know, and a mask. And you were talking earlier about people who are coughing openly. You know, I would expect my adult employees to be able to practice good hygiene.
100%.
To be able to be a little sick, but also to be able to practice good hygiene and keep our patients safe and the people, you know, coming to City Drug.
Wash your hands, use some hand sanitizer, teach your kids and your family and people to have good hygiene. You know, it's out there. And I think that's 99% of the time, that's what's missed is you go to school, you go to work, and people are coughing over everything. I mean, go home, wash your hands, wipe things down. I mean, that we do really good. And just be good about that, please.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Open air mouth coughers and sneezers. Oh man, that drives me insane. That's actually one of my pet peeves. Like people who like open mouth, like eat and then cough and then, it drives me insane. I work with one of those.
One thing I do not, I don't know if I agree with this or how I feel about, I don't agree with this. At school is one of the biggest ones, and daycare is not as big as school, but the school puts out these things in pamphlets like, if you're sick, don't come to school because you're sick. You're going to get everybody else sick. And and then you say, okay, my child is sick and we won't want to send him and he just needs to stay home, he or her. And then they call you and they reprimand you because it's getting at school. He's missed 4 or 5 days of school. Well, he's been sick. What do you want me to do? Well, he's going to...
Yep.
I have a hard time with that a little bit.
Yes.
I don't like that strategy of don't come to school sick, but then we're going to
reprimand you.
Yeah, because you're not sending your kid to school and they've missed so many days and now they're going to be flunking second grade. You know, like, stop.
Well, I read something this morning that said children have between 8 and 12 colds a year, which means each one of those colds with my kids, you know, they're young. It's a week long. So if you miss 8 to 12 weeks of school because they have a runny nose, then you mix up an allergy and, oh crap, now they've got allergies and they got a runny nose. If every time you didn't go to school, I mean, you've missed half the year.
Yeah. Right. So, and at that point, yes. I mean, that's that to that extreme. Yes. But keep your kid home, get them better, get them feeling better so that, you know, they don't continue to, because it's like a circle. It's a vicious circle.
Petri dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how much choice you have. You almost have to send them to school at some point so you don't get those nasty letters saying, you know, we're going to call Child Protective Services because your kids missed too much school.
Right.
But I think we're good parents and we call our teacher and say, send us home everything that Riker or Brooks has missed so we can keep him caught up. I can teach, you know, no, I can't teach math because I don't know what they're doing. I don't think anybody does, but we can go over those things so they're not so far behind. So do that. You know, if your kid's sick, call the teacher, get the homework, get the stuff that they've missed, so at least that they're not so far behind when they get back there. But you are right. I mean, at some point you have to send them to school.
Yeah.
Well, and teach your kids good hygiene also. At what age do you start teaching your kids to cover their mouth?
Sure.
I guess some adults haven't learned it, but I think we need to teach our kids that they can go to, how to be around other people and not get others sick.
Yeah. My wife and I are so strict on that when there's a kid that will cough, my kids will look at them like, cover your dang mouth.
So Johnny Pence throws up a comment. I have a bad immune system and work in Salt Lake. In the winter, the air is bad. What would Andrew suggest as a good preventative measure of not getting ear, nose, and throat sickness other than a mask?
That's awesome. What a good question, Johnny. Thanks. I've got a lot of different things I like, and it's not just because I sell most of those things. But a couple things, I think it all starts with diet. Making sure you're eating a good, healthy diet, whole foods, vegetables. Beyond that, I've got some really good things this time of year, especially where it's cold. We're not outside a whole ton. Vitamin D is very important to the immune system. But also I've got a product at the store called Virusid. Come in, I'll take care of you. But
that's good stuff.
Shameless plug. But anyway, that's
okay.
got a combination, kind of a cocktail of herbs and vitamins that's going to help keep you healthy. On a preventative thing, I say take 2 of those a day. And I've got people who say, God, I haven't been sick in years since you started selling me that stuff. When you talked about remedies, as soon as I start feeling a cold, I'll take 2 of those up front, and then the bottle instructs 1 every hour for 24 hours, and typically we'll knock something out of the way. But, a couple things that are in that are good to just supplement during the wintertime, vitamin C, zinc, echinacea. Those are all good things. But like I said, first and foremost, a good healthy diet is really important.
You have
That's good.
one pill that has all of that?
That Virusid product has a good majority of that stuff.
What's it called?
It's called Virusid.
Awesome.
Virusid.
Awesome stuff. Me and Carrie take it.
I need to come down and get some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is good stuff. Andrew talked to us about it, and we took it, and it's really, really, really helped. In fact, I think that cut my pneumonia in half when I was taking that, because I took it on top of my antibiotics, and it really helped.
Dang. I need to go get some.
One more good thing that I really like this time of year, especially probiotics. They say 70% of your immune system is in your GI tract. So putting in good bacteria back into the immune system and into the GI tract will help keep you healthy this time of year, especially.
What would be some foods that you would recommend?
Well, if you said you're of Asian descent, so kimchi, some of the fermented foods, you can get some good probiotics. They'll advertise it in certain yogurts, Activa.
Yeah.
To get a really good one, you'd have to eat 30 cups of yogurt or something.
I'm okay with that.
So if you like yogurt, kimchi, like I said, some of that stuff is really good for that. Kefir is really good food wise to be able to get some of that stuff.
Yo, I'm a kimchi fanatic.
Fried rice. You have fried rice, sweet and sour soup with a Pepsi Cola.
My apologies to our Asian listening community.
No apologies.
Yeah. No, I'm the only one. I'm a huge kimchi fan. That's awesome.
So
That's
Carrie
awesome.
says, "Preach it, Andrew. I swear by Virusid, also probiotics." And you did touch on that. Probiotics
awesome.
are good. John says, "I agree. I got to be unable to get up to call in. As a longtime manager, I can tell you that there are a number of employees that don't share this philosophy. Some will miss work without thinking twice about it. The work ethic has changed quite a bit in, say, the last 10 years. Absolutely, John. Huge. People just don't care.
Yeah.
3-day weekends are like, oh, I'm going to have a 3-day weekend. That's the work ethic is bad.
Future note, we have talked about having a work ethic podcast. So if you are in support of a work ethic podcast, we're talking about getting a person, maybe 2 down here to have that conversation also.
That'd be huge. When I was growing up, my parents went to work unless they were dying. In fact, I don't know if they've ever missed work. And if we had sporting events, if we had stuff, they were at work. They had a job, to support their family. Now it almost feels like if people have nothing better to do, then they go to work. But as soon as something better comes up, then it's, I'm sick. Also, I've got something better to do.
Sure. Yeah. My job is hard with that because most of the time when I get sick, I get a headache from it, and with me sitting in front of a screen all day, like programming and doing all, man, I call in sick quite a few times a year because I get sick quite a bit since living in Wyoming. I don't know what it is, but like I'll get every head cold. I will get every flu. I will, well, not flu necessarily, but
The man flu.
man flu. But no, like I seem to be more susceptible here than I was on the West Coast. Because like if somebody's sneezing, within a week I'm sneezing too, you know. But it always gives me a pounding, like blinding migraine.
It's got to be that Asian descent that
It
you
has
talk
to
about.
be.
I got a question for you, Tony, in that
Yeah.
regards. What is your opinion on, I don't know if it's mind over matter, but mindset. If you feel like you're going to get sick, you're going to get sick. And one example of that is, if somebody comes into the pharmacy and they've
Mhm.
got pink eye and their eyes like water, and I go to talk to them about their medication, as soon as they leave, my eye is itching and I am sure I have pink eye as soon as they're done.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a mindset like thinking, if I am going to get sick, I'm going to get sick? What's your opinion there?
So I 100% believe that there is a mindset thing there. More often than not, I'm up trying to get ready for the day, taking a shower, trying to get ready. I'm trying to convince myself that I'm walking out the door, and then 70% of the time I'll turn around and start puking. And I'm like, and I work down in the valley, so I have to commute an hour to work and then an hour back. And so the moment I start puking or other sicknesses that kind of, demand that I be closer to a toilet, I'm like, I'm not going to travel an hour and then sit at my desk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I go through that process, unless I'm like waking up puking already. I go through that process. I mean, I've had a number of times where I've gotten to work and my boss is like, "You're really sick." And I'm like, yes, I am. But I will push and push and push until I puke. If I don't puke, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
Unless, because my migraines, I will get the flashes, where I can only see out of one eye. If I'm doing that, I'm like, that's not good.
It's not safe for anybody.
Yeah. So
It's
but
probably never mind.
yeah. But,
What was funny is Carrie told me the other day, she's like, I don't feel good. My head's hurting. I feel like I'm getting a migraine. And I was fine. And so we gave her some migraine medicine. She took that. Like an hour later,
Mhm.
my head started hurting.
Yeah.
I started getting a migraine.
Yeah.
So
Migraines are contagious.
she passed it along. Passed it along.
or she willed it upon you. She was like, mock me.
You're going to suffer. It's one of those things right there. The conspiracy of the man flu.
Yeah. 100%.
Mhm.
100%. I do want to comment on something for all those man flu naysayers. I did find an article on Forbes that I want to read a segment of. It says the author Kyle Sue of the Memorial University of Newfoundland in Canada looked over a large number of earlier studies on gender differences in males and females, human and non-human, who were infected with viruses, including the cold and the flu. First, he looked at animals. And found that females seemed to fare better when infected with the flu. That is, they had a stronger immune response. And according to the studies, this seemed to be largely due to the presence of estrogen. In humans too, studies have reported that young women have better cellular immune response than men, but this difference wasn't found in menopausal women and their male peers, which again suggests that sex hormones may play a role.
Bam.
So I just want to put that out there. Man flu's a thing. It exists, and you ladies just have better genes.
Mic drop.
So does that mean we're going to start getting estrogen shots?
That's right.
No.
You sell those? Just kidding. I'm joking.
Oh, man. She didn't pass it along. I just have to feel worse than she does.
I see. Oh, I didn't comment on my remedies earlier.
Yeah. What are your remedies?
Hot food, like homemade hot chicken noodle soup, will usually give me like a burst of like 30 minutes to an hour where I'm up. I can be up. I can take a shower. I can get around and everything. But after that hour, I'm back down. But yeah, chicken noodle soup seems to be the only thing that I want when I'm sick.
I did something, and I used to live in Taiwan, and one thing that I did there was
hold on. Do you have Asian descent in you too?
Yeah, can't you tell? I just looking at me, you ought to be able to tell that. But one of the things I did there was, they have kind of an equivalent to ramen noodles, but it's a lot more spicy.
Mhm.
So they'd have the seasoning packet, then you'd have like an oily spice packet, and I'd get the spiciest son of a gun I could make as hot as I could and just breathe it in, and it would clear anything out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Cocktail sauce, ginger.
Yeah. Why not? Just
Yeah.
take a shot of that
Boom.
cocktail sauce and just
Mhm.
raw ginger.
What are your guys' remedies out there? Do you guys have any that's watching? I got a couple people watching. It's an afternoon show, so probably won't get a ton of live people.
That's okay.
But that's all right.
Most people are digging their way out of their house right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge snowstorm here in Evanston.
Yeah.
And you can see it out there, out the window.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It is. It is through Sunday, isn't it? We're supposed to be getting nailed, I think,
Yeah.
later this afternoon.
I feel a man cold coming on.
I know, for real. My bones are achy. Oh my gosh.
It's been awesome. Hey, Andrew, is there anything else that you might want to talk about? I know we talked about a few things. Let me come back to my questions. Here we go. How do you like to be treated when you're sick?
Usually I just kind of want to be left alone. I just want to be isolated in a room because I have a hard time with noise when I'm sick. I'm super irritable, like beyond. I'm already an irritable guy, but when I'm sick, it's like magnified. It's like, stop breathing, stop blinking so loud. Get out of this room.
I don't like to be touched either.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be, keep your distance from me. Andrew?
Yeah, I touched base on this a little bit earlier, but maybe expand. So yeah, I want to be left alone. Lock me in it. I will get over this. Just give me my time. Give me some, I'll get over it. My wife, on the other hand, she like wants to be cuddled, and I'm like, you have the plague. I'm not touching you, but she wants to be coddled and, and me to kind of nurse her and get, and I'm not a good nurse, and she wants me to get food, and I'm not good at cooking. I can't make chicken noodle soup.
Yeah. You can open that can like a pro.
Yeah.
This is the best chicken noodle soup I've ever had.
So when it comes to the kids also, they want to be coddled a little bit like their mom, and I'm not good at that. I'm like, go to your bed, come back when you're better.
Yep.
I think everybody's ideal of how they want to be treated when they're sick is all different.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone cuddled and you just want to, no, you're sick. I don't want to get sick. Some leave me alone. Don't touch me. So if people touch you and get in do you get angry? Do you get upset?
I do get upset.
Andrew, you get upset?
Yeah, no, people don't usually touch me when I'm sick, but I'd be irritated.
Yeah,
I'm irritated too. Like, stop it. Just and then it turns into I think that's part of the man flu too.
Yeah.
Quit being such a baby about it.
Or they ask you like, what's wrong? Why are you so mad? And then it just makes you more mad.
Yeah.
I don't feel good. Don't touch me.
Yeah. My kids will do this thing. Like, I'll be laying in my room and I'll hear my kids come in to like try to get something. And they're just like, hey, be quiet. Dad's sleeping. Hey, shh. And then they'll slam my door and then run down the hallway, and I hear things like crash, crash, crash. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I tend to
rough.
not tell I think every time I've told my boys Carrie might be sick or, they get louder.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Carrie's sleeping. You guys try to be quiet. She's trying to rest. And then it just gets louder and louder and louder.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife does a great job of taking care of me when I'm sick. So I am very appreciative of that. She's a rock star. I would be
dead.
Yeah, I would. She rules it when it comes to Michael having the man flu. She takes care of me 100%.
Yeah. My wife too. Yeah. They're rock stars.
One thing that, when I've got the man flu, and I am at home, I don't want to be touched, but I'm not cooking for the kids. I'm not taking care of the babies. My wife's good. She keeps all that going. I think somebody mentioned that earlier, that wives don't get a stop. They have to be mom the whole time. And
they do.
So that is a tribute to my wife. When she's sick, she still has to take care of the kids and do everything else. Whereas I'm like, I'm locking myself in the basement. Don't talk to me. She doesn't get that same luxury.
Yeah.
So shout out to all you wives and moms out there that continue to do it.
Yep. Props.
Andrew, did you discuss old wives' tales and tricks and stuff when we talked about staying healthy?
No, but I'm just kind of curious what's out there, what people are doing, what ideas people have had.
Rub your bottom of your foot with a potato.
Stand on your head and eat applesauce.
Oh, I've heard that
Whoa.
with onions. Put onions in your socks.
Yeah.
My mom just got a bottle of Vicks and put her hand down in there and slapped it on my face and my chest. And I was like full Vicks. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
My boys look at me when I'm like, hey, I'm getting the Vicks out. And they're like, no, please no.
for real. My dad was like a Vicks addict when it came to like illness. He when he got a cold, my dad would just walk through the house and you would cry, like because the Vicks aura that was just coming off of. He had like trails, you know, and man alive.
Is Vicks, is that what it was made for? I mean, because I feel like it was like to put in something to have like a steam, but now it's like people just put it on themselves. Like what was the?
It's definitely not for dry skin. That's true. We do suffer from that in Wyoming, and sometimes I can smell that people are using it for dry skin.
Yeah,
as a full body remedy.
yeah. Wasn't it used for like muscles, like as a therapeutic? Like I have a sore muscle, I'm gonna rub Vicks on it.
I've never done that. No, just like when I get like I can feel like a cold or anything like that, sinuses or anything. Yeah, I'm throwing
Just
Vicks on.
Eat some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One quick plug on Vicks, not to be used in babies. So there's a baby's Vicks that's a little safer for kids under 2. So
It's got a pink lid.
those people who like Vicks, don't put it on your babies.
Why? And I asked that because my Islander father used to just lather me when I was like, "What's wrong with putting Vicks on a baby?"
I'll have to double check the exact reasons, but it has to do with their the respiratory system's not fully developed. And so putting it on the kids, they just, like I said, I got to double check the exact reasons or what it would do, but you're not supposed to put it on them under 2.
Pacific Islander audience, keep Vicks off your dang babies.
Yeah,
Looking
do
at
it.
you, Dad.
You're just fine, Tony.
I mean,
you lived.
I did. I did. So I was one of the strong ones.
There's a lot of oils out there now. Young Living,
Yeah.
doTERRA.
Yeah.
Are those the only 2?
Oh no, there's tons of them out there. Those are some of the big ones,
the top ones?
the multi-level marketing type ones.
Pyramid schemes.
Yeah. Are you an oil fan, Andrew?
I'm not completely against it. Where I get bothered is I feel like there's a lot of, when you've got people with a multi-level marketing scheme, people are motivated to make some maybe false claims or maybe aggressive claims. This treats cancer. This is gonna make your
Snake
beard
oil.
smell better, and
Yeah.
and it'll grow faster, and it saves everything. So it is
Yeah.
it is the newest snake oil. But again, I feel like you get that sometimes when people are motivated financially to make a sell.
Sure.
Which obviously I understand. I'm in business to sell stuff, but at the same time, that's my concern with oils. I think they have their place. I mean, we use them in my house occasionally, but like I said, I think it's as long as that place is understood and appreciated.
Yeah.
I think so. We use oils.
Yeah.
I like the smell of oils. They are good. You can mix a couple of them together. Oils. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I found out that I was allergic to lavender
Oh,
when my wife put lavender oil on me. So peppermint will usually rip a migraine just right out of my head. So like Typhoon oil, like the Tiger Balm stuff, like that really heavy pepperminty stuff. So she had doTERRA, and it was like a lavender peppermint. And so she was like, "You've got a migraine. I'm going to use this on you." And she put a dab here on my temples, and then one line across my neck. And within 30 seconds, I was like in the bathroom over the toilet. Like my whole body was shaking.
Oh my gosh.
I jumped in the shower and turned it. I had started, I was trying to peel my clothes off while I was trying to turn the water on and everything. The worst migraine I think I've ever had in my life. After she put that stuff on, I was like, "Get that crap away from me." I was like, that is of the devil.
now we know how to
Kill me. Yeah.
take you out. Bottle of lavender.
So Stephen Cannon here made a comment. Wilma will educate you fools on Mexican mom remedies. So this is a thing, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
when I was in high school, I used to tell all of my friends. I had a lot of Hispanic friends in Oregon, and I used to tell them all of like the remedies my dad used to do, and they laughed at me and then shared all of their Mexican mom stories. And I'm like, I will pray for you. I was like, holy cow, bro.
I thought that was going a totally different direction. I thought you were going to tell me that you were of Mexican descent too.
No, but I'm so ambiguously ethnic. People think I'm Hispanic anyways, or Native American or Eskimo, or now that I have a beard, from, the Middle East somewhere.
Oh,
So I get it all the time. Yeah.
Agrabah.
Agrabah. Yep.
Steven, do you remember any of those remedies?
Yeah. Share the wildest one that you have heard of, or no, or tell this Wilma to get on.
Wilma's not going to get on.
You know, one thing Wilma did. So Wilma was one of my employees, as some background information for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Since moved to California. But one thing, you know, Wilma said, "Oh, I was sick, and my mom gave me all these medicines. She just told me to take 2 of these and 2 of these, and I looked at them and I looked up the medicine, and they were both Tylenol."
Oh my gosh.
So there's just 2 different names for Tylenol that her
Yeah.
mom had given her to cure her.
Holy cow.
Tylenol's a cure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have to ask you something, because emergency is something that I will sit and watch people go through 4 to 8 packets within a day or 2. How much emergency in this time of year, well, just any time of year, really, how much emergency is okay, or would you recommend on kind of a daily or week, or does it even help at all?
Yeah. So honestly, they've come out with some studies. The studies are kind of mixed. And I was kind of looking into this a little bit this morning on vitamin C, which is a lot of emergency.
Yes.
And they said vitamin C can shorten a cold by 8 to 14%. So not a whole ton. There's actually some people saying that eating an orange is actually a lot better for you because,
Yes.
and they think it might be some of the other things in the orange more so than just the vitamin C by itself
Mhm.
that are causing some of that benefit. Now, that being said, it's not going to probably hurt somebody. Vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. You'll just urinate it out.
Mm.
Some people with excess amounts might get, kidney stones or something like that as the body's trying to process that. However, it's not going to hurt. It just, the help maybe not a whole ton.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can't pronounce even like a 16th of the names on the back of those packets, but I have so many people I work with, people I know, friends outside of work. Anytime they get sick, I mean, it's like every hour they're slamming another packet of emergency. I'm like, I think you're supposed to do like one a week or like one in a 24-hour period. And they're like, no, I'm good.
typically, like on the studies, I think they were doing 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those packets are 1,000 milligrams by themselves.
Yeah.
So, probably a little excessive on the every hour.
What happens to the excess? Is it just your body discards of it? Doesn't use it? Doesn't help?
Correct. Typically, yeah, you're just urinating out
So
the
you
excess.
people that are downing 5 to 6 packets as of emergency, keep doing it because it's keeping Andrew in business. Thanks, appreciate it.
Yes,
keep
very
doing it.
good. Keep doing it. Lots of it.
That's hilarious.
Hot tea. Hot tea is a good thing for me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Helps me.
What kind of tea?
I'm not a tea dude, so whatever is in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Chamomile, Earl Grey.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a packet. I put the water in there, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is good."
Mm.
Honey,
I see.
lemon.
I think one other thing that's maybe easier said than done this time of year, but I mean, stress plays a huge role in getting sick.
Yeah.
So with the holidays, a lot of people are getting excess stress, but if there's a way that, maybe a plug to self-care, just taking some time or a break or trying to do things with your holidays to make them less stressful, I think will go a long way in helping you stay healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Take the stress out of it. Get some sleep.
Yeah.
Take care of your body.
Get some exercise.
Andrew, what are your old wives' tales? We haven't heard yours.
God, I just remember Dimetap as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
we drank a lot of Dimetap as
man.
a kid.
That was that was because your parents didn't want you to be awake.
I was going to say exist
or
during
alive.
that time.
I was the 7th child, so that I know of. I don't know if there was others.
Andrew, come here. We have some purple medicine for you. And that's the bad thing because as a kid, Dimetap was the bomb. Like that was the best one you could get.
You liked that stuff?
I still like Dimetap.
Oh, Dimetap and Robitussin, those two.
Robitussin's horrible.
It was like drinking earwax. Like I was
No.
just, I hate them all. I died every single time my parents forced those down my face.
I saw a funny thing on the pharmacy page I'm on, and it was a script for the cough back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was a tablespoon of whiskey, a tablespoon of honey, a tablespoon of some kind of opium.
Yeah.
And the comment was, well, it's no wonder they could walk uphill both ways in the snow to school.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
With those cocktails, you didn't care about anything back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a terrible cough years and years and years ago. And I was at my buddy's folks' house. We were helping him move some stuff in their garage. And I just had this terrible, terrible cough. And he goes, his dad looks at me and goes, hey, come with me. And we go in the kitchen and he poured me a shot of wild turkey. And I was just like, and I'd never had wild turkey up to that point. And he's just like, yeah, just shoot this. This is what I do. He's like, this is grandpa's cough medicine right here. And man, I slammed that as fast as I could. And it burned all the way down, lit me up, but within like 10 minutes, I already felt like I was on the other side of, the tracks from that cold. And I don't even think I was even coughing the next day. Just like, oh my gosh, that just literally burned the illness out of me.
Get you a bottle of Wild Turkey, Kayla.
Yep. Stand
He
on your
will-
head and drink it.
He will stop whining. I love Dimetap. I love it. I don't like Robitussin. Carrie doesn't like me taking Robitussin either because I get really wonky and weird and goofy and I have wild dreams and I'm goofy. No Robitussin for Michael.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare that he can have that.
Do you find that people are more susceptible to overdo it with things like Dayquil?
Yeah, actually, I know of somebody who, well, for sleep was drinking bottles of NyQuil.
Yeah.
And so, but that just carried over beyond the illness to where they were just drinking bottles of NyQuil to go to sleep at
Yeah.
night. And so I find a lot of people think if some is good, more is better.
Mhm.
And not realizing that they can actually cause some harm from overdoing some of those cold medicines.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much Tylenol was in those things.
Yeah.
And my doctor, I mean, this is probably 10 years ago. He was asking me because I got this really bad head cold and it wouldn't go away. And so I bought a bottle of Dayquil, kept it in my car, and I was just taking pulls off that. I wasn't even using the measuring cup. I was just taking hits
Yeah.
off Dayquil just throughout the day. I'd go out to my car, grab my Dayquil, take a shot of it, and go back to work, but my doctor, we had this conversation. He's like, "What are you taking for?" I was like, "Dayquil." It's like, "How much?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then he told me, yeah, it's like the bottle's like this. So yeah, no, but he told me how much Tylenol was in those things. And he told me a couple stories about how people will just slam bottles of that and they'll start shutting stuff down in their body from like the Tylenol ODing or whatever.
Yeah, they've actually tried to get rid of some of the children's cold medicines for that purpose, but also people don't realize, they take Dayquil because I have a cold, but they don't think it has Tylenol in it. So they're taking Tylenol on top of that. Then they've got a prescription pain medicine with Tylenol, and people just don't realize how much Tylenol they're getting.
Yeah.
So
I don't get to do that. I get told no. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. I make really bad decisions when I'm sick. Like, cause that would be me. Like, I don't think to read. If a doctor gives it to me, my brain just says, just take it. Like, but my wife, whenever I'm sick, my wife will be like Googling, like, can you take this with this? No, you have to wait 2 hours. So you have to take the, so my wife is kind of like my own personal pharmacist when I'm really down. She kind of regimens my.
When I go to the medicine cabinet, Carrie's right there. And she's looking at me like, "What are you doing? Dayquil?" And I get the cap, so I'm getting the cap that's like this big, and then she gives me the cap that's you're supposed to have. Right, Carrie? And she just shakes her head at me.
Yeah.
And then I'm the bad person. I'm like, "Take some Tylenol." And she's like, "Oh, I took it 2 hours ago." That's fine. Take some. Your head's still hurting. Your body's still hurting.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be bad for me. Just take it. Go. And she just looks at me like, "Keep selling soda and beer." That's what I need to do.
Done.
Brianna said that she always had Sprite and saltine crackers. That's the problem. Brianna had Sprite, 7-Up. Should have had 7-Up.
Yeah, 7-Up.
That's not a plug or a sponsor. But yeah, like clear liquids, a lot better. Is that an old wives' tale? Clear liquid compared to like a cola?
My own personal opinion, I think it's kind of an old wives' tale. I don't think clear liquid's any better for it. If anything, I don't know if you've seen the things with cola and where they put a rusty penny in it or something, just the acid from it,
Yeah.
that may do more to kill the bacteria, kind of like your wild turkey back in the day.
Yeah.
Than some of the Sprites or some of the other ones, maybe less acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Gatorade's good. It's got electrolytes.
Mhm.
Your body needs electrolytes, especially when you're sick.
Yeah.
Pedialyte tastes not as delicious. It's probably a little bit, it's got more electrolytes than Gatorade. But I think my boys like Gatorade better because it's got the electrolytes and it tastes better.
And
So
Pedialyte tastes like feet. So yeah, it's gross.
yeah, get some Gatorade. Gatorade's got electrolytes. It's always good. Stay hydrated. I think that's one of the big things that people miss too is staying hydrated when you're sick.
Mhm.
Make sure you stay hydrated.
Yeah.
How many times can I say hydrated?
You just said it like 6 times.
6. If I was a video editor, we would have went back and would have said, how many times did Michael say hydrated?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, exactly. Been the word of the day.
So that's it. The man flu.
Yeah.
We thank everybody for listening to Time Out with Michael. It has been a lot of fun. Andrew, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for having me. It was a blast.
Andrew is the pharmacist owner, CEO, president, brainchild behind City Drug now. And he's got a pharmacy over in the Valley, just opened up in Benedict's Market. So if you are in the Valley, you can do over there. If you guys have any questions as far as colds, sicknesses, and stuff like that, whether or not you should take a jar full of NyQuil, DayQuil, call Andrew. These guys, they have their pharmacists there. They can, what is it, coaching or educating? What would you call it? Coaching, educating?
Consultation.
Consultation?
Or, just counseling. We can go over any
Counseling.
of that stuff with you.
Yeah.
Medicinal counseling.
Medicinal counseling. Really?
Medicinal counseling.
Cool. So if you guys have any questions, call Andrew at City Drug 789-4000. I don't know what the number is to the Valley.
782-DRUG-3784.
Nice.
Wow.
How did you get that? Who'd you pay?
Just called them and asked them for it.
Wow.
I mean, it's in the Valley. It's not like it's going to be taken.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a landline too, huh?
Yeah.
So half the people listening won't know. Well, no. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is a landline?
Yeah.
It's been real. It's been fun. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.